What's up, everybody? FC here from E-MTB Review, and I do have something very special for you guys. What I have here, you guys know this word. This is the DJI bike, the Amflow with a DJI motor, and I'm here in California. A good friend of mine purchased it from e-bike Premier in Northridge in Southern California, and we have it. I mean, we didn't believe it was coming until it's actually here. But hey, it's Sunday, it's here. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna unbox it. We're gonna assemble it and check the weight, check the motor, check the app, check the angles and the measurements, the basic stuff. And then this week we're gonna do some more exciting stuff, the real measurements. I know so many people in Europe have seen this bike, but very few have seen it in the US. But we're gonna do some real power meter measurements, some range measurements, scientific kind of. So here we go. So we're gonna unbox. We might have to speed up some of this, but comes in a very heavy box. So there's two models that's Amflow's selling. The Amflow Pro, the Amflow Carbon, and the Amflow Pro. This is the Amflow Carbon, and it's really cool because it's not that expensive. It's $7,000. $7,000 is a lot of money, but if you know e-bikes, that's pretty much on the low end when it comes to carbon. We have a box here. I'm sure this is the charger. Oh, okay. So nicely packaged. This looks to be at the level of a YT or a Canyon, where they do a lot of consumer direct, so they package it really well. That's what I'm noticing. I should get a photo of this. But I'll just unpack it, pull it out one by one. This is kind of, kid in the candy store, right? This is the excitement that I'll capture for you. A lot of you guys will probably buy this direct, and you'll get this in a box like this. And I'll show you the assembly process. Okay, we have here an Accessory. So 7,000 for this guy, but it's a carbon frame, but not carbon rims or anything. And that looks like a Magura rotor. Very familiar with their products. One of the best brakes for e-bikes, especially because of the power. Okay, looking around, nothing holding it back. So I'm just gonna pull it out. I've been working out, kinda. And there it is. It's easier to pull out. So something very interesting is there's an alarm system, and I'm not sure why it's on, but it's triggered, and I had to press the button, enter a code. So something new right there. I don't want to edit that out because that's something with DJI and their theft protection. Oh, there you go. So we do have that work. What that means is I can work on it on my bike stand as long as I'm careful with it, or clamp it. A nicely shaped foam, so pretty decent job. It does seem like they've been doing this thing for a while now, even though they're new at this packing game and consumer direct game. So let me just do the zip ties. Everything's kind of a new experience. Wow. So this is the silver carbon. That paint is very glossy. We are fairly close. And this looks like what they call 95% assembled. As far as the bike is concerned, that is the big mystery. You know, Amflow is a company, is a bike company that has been set up by DJI, and the reason they did that is because they wanted to develop their motor in secret, you know, without all the other motor manufacturers copying them. So two things: they couldn't really um, give the motor to bike manufacturers uh, and preserve that secret as well. The second is the bike manufacturers didn't really want to talk to them. You know, you want the premier bike manufacturer building your first bike, right, for your motor, but the premier one's like, who are you? You got to prove yourself before you spend all the engineering. So they did that by setting up their own bike company, and it's called Amflow. Okay, so I'm done with the most basic assembly. I do need to tighten the bar, but yeah, special attention to the foam. They do have resources. Um, we have here is the handy dandy charger, DJI Avinox charger. It's a 7 amp charger, so that's pretty cool. That means it's a faster than what we're used to. Most chargers right now are 4 amps. It's got a different plug. We got, oh, I like this. I like this because they didn't put it in your bike, but it's a whole slew of reflectors. Whoa. Oh, okay. I got a lot of bike light knowledge and bike knowledge. So what you're seeing here is a bike that's included. It's a light that's included with a bike, and this is a commuter light. And what it is it's a European spec light where there's a cutoff right there. You know, at a certain point, so you're not blinding drivers. And this is pretty cool. It's got an LCD USB-C rechargeable, and if I got this right, you can recharge this light by plug it into the bike. So not the end of the world, but not bad. You got some manuals on your components, Fox float, and whatnot. Oh, I like it. I keep liking it. You got a little screwdriver. You have a torque wrench. Okay. A plug. You got your basic pedal, and the pedal is a little better than. It's basically what do you call that? Consumer bike grade. And then the last thing I noticed is a shock pump. Assembled, no pedals yet, because I want to weigh it without pedals. And so it's a medium Amflow Carbon. Okay. Computer is on. Let me do the FC guest test. Oh, I cannot tell. 48. So it's the Amflow Carbon, the $7,000 model with an 800 watt hour battery, no pedals, box stock, and I believe it has. So we have these no dissector rear and assegai front. That's pretty cool. Not, are they tubeless? They're not tubeless. Yeah, I see the tube, and let's weigh it. Okay, nothing's touching. Survey says it's kind of bouncing around right now. 46.5. 46.5. For the cheap model with tubes, alloy bar, alloy rims, alloy cranks, very good brakes. I want to see this motor. I want to hear this motor. So I'll just do one pedal. Updates available for some accessories. Oh, it's a touchscreen. Just had my first experience with the DJI. I'm like, there's two controllers here that are wireless that are controlling the screen. And I'm like, how do I cancel and not confirm? But really, you can just touch the screen. So, interesting. So after off is auto. It's eco after off, but it's auto. What that means is it's the place they want you to be at, the first place they want you to be at. All right, so I'm gonna pedal it in auto mode. Okay. Ah. I have my mic on, so hopefully you can hear this motor. What's interesting is it's okay. So the drag grease is slowly trying to get out. Okay. So when I'm doing this, I'm not exerting enough torque. Let's just go to turbo. Oh, here we go. So it's very heavy, and then when the motor kicks in, it's light, of course. So for me to put more resistance, I'm gonna hold the brake. So as I'm holding the brake, I'm pedaling in turbo mode. So I'm observing two things here: how loud that motor is when it's going, and second, how does it come on? How smoothly does it come on? All right, next thing I want to do is just look at the fit. Like I said, it doesn't feel like a huge bike. I can already tell the dropper post, the height of the saddle will bother me a little bit, because you are it's already fully slammed. You can't get a 200 dropper for my height, and I know I'm quite a bit higher than my Orbea Wild or my Pivot Shuttle LT. So one thing I should mention, this is a full 29er and 150 rear travel and 160 front travel. Yeah, if you do a mullet, you lower everything, of course. You have a flip chip right here. In this link is a pellet that you can flip. This suspension looks really familiar. It looks like a Levo suspension. You know, the fact that they have this arm and then this double bridge right here, and I know it's reliable. It doesn't look very beefy, but it looks very free moving. Interesting that they have a trunnion mount on the shock. Normally you see a traditional mount. So what I do now is the girth measurement. So I should, right there is where they meet. 10,
there's one more there.
10 and a half.
Yeah.
Wow, this is the best I've seen, because it's easy. The tab is easy to hold. There's 4 magnets.
So it doesn't pop out.
There's a spring, and there's a
Rubber seal.
there's a double seal. And then here's the computer. Got a big one button. It's always confusing when you have 2 buttons. But then you also have a USB. So you can see the stem flex under a big load. Probably take some shock off, but for a big guy, that's going to be uncomfortable. All right, we're going to show you guys the functions of the computer. Turn it on, probably a long press. Avinox.
0829.
You have a code if you want one. And then this is your normal screen. Motor the motor. Settings, kilometers an hour. The time. Oh, the percent of battery charge. Pretty cool. And touchscreen, but
Swipe.
nothing for me to touch, so it can be a swipe. Okay, so the four corners stay the same, and what's in the middle is changing. The power of the cyclist, the torque of the cyclist. Wow, that's super cool, because I've seen on the Levo power of the cyclist, but I've never seen the torque of the cyclist. Power, by the way, is torque times RPM. Cadence, okay. So if you multiply the power by the cadence, you'll get, or the torque and the cadence, you'll get the power. Swipe again. Now we have the distance that you traveled, everything's in kilometers, the duration you've been riding, your estimated range based on how you've been doing the last few miles, the grade you're currently on, your elevation, your current elevation, probably not your climb, the gear that you're on, very cool. And a big screen with just your speed. And now you're back on the power. So let's just go on the speed. And now, back up a little bit. I'm going to show you guys the controls. Oh, should I show this? Maybe higher so you can see both. All right, so these are the controls on your right. And what you see is, as I press it, it's as if I swiped. I do like that there's an audible beep. And let's see what this other button does. Oh, going back. Interesting. I guess if you're in your configuration, you can probably select, and this will be enter. All right, now let's move on to this side. And this side is your mode. So auto, eco, trail, turbo. Oh, ahaha. Interesting that it doesn't scroll. It just stays on the highest level. That way you can just press it to your heart's content and you can be assured it's turbo. If you want to go down, oh, there was boost. How do I get, oh, how did I get to boost? Long press? Oh, a 2-second press will get you to boost. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. That's good UI. So you just keep pressing it. I wanna go fast. You're on turbo. Press again. You're on turbo. If you really want boost, you do a 2-second press. Now you're in boost. Okay. Aha! And there's a countdown. I love that. There's a countdown of your high of your happy time. In turbo and all the modes, you have about 105 newton meters, and in boost you have 120 newton meters, and that translates to well over 1,000 watts. Okay, so cool. And as far as I know, the boost is available time after time. You can just keep hitting it. I'm in boost. Yeah, I can feel more kick and more. Oh, look at that! Look at animation. Oh my god! And it shows you that you're running out. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's now we're back in turbo. And then once, even in the screen, it does show you kind of the power, huh? Look, I'm holding the brake right now. It shows you how hard the motor's working. And this is pretty much full power, and it's still very quiet. All right, guys, there's the unboxing of the Amflow Carbon bike, 46.52 pounds on a medium without pedals, $7,000 for the Carbon version. Carbon Pro is $11,000. And really, the bike will be interesting, but really the hallmark of the bike and this whole video is the motor. This is the motor made by the gods of the engineers of DJI. So should be a very interesting journey. One of the first in the United States. Thanks a ton, everybody.